Yo, what is up, guys? It's me, Eva, again here playing Black Beacon, and today we're going to talk about the 5-star character selector that's been given to us after the compensation for what happened during this whole drama period. If you don't know what I'm talking about, they give us, I already did a video on that, but they give us some good stuff in the mail, 25 limited summons as well as 5 standard summons, and as well as some small stuff here, and a 5-star selector. So in terms of characters, all of these standard characters are here. So it's Erishan, Logos, Viola, Nana, and Lychee. So in that sense, who should you be going for? And if you already have all of them, should you go for dupes or no? So first of all, obviously, for those who don't have one of the characters, for example, if you don't have someone from out here, yeah, I would recommend go if you're like missing one or two, and you already have Lychee and Logos or Viola. I would recommend going for like Getter, Nano, and Irishan as well. Why not? Because again, we could see some buffs or nerfs at some point, as well as just those two are still have very fun characters to play as, and they're not definitely not bad. Maybe they're not as strong as Lychee or something like that, but still a pretty decent character. So I would recommend just getting a whole your collection so that you're not missing anything in the future. But if you already have if you don't have most of them, this is where I would prioritize Lychee. Obviously, he is the best character in terms of DPS. Maybe the only one who is close to him is Florence. They're like 1 and 2 spots, and again, I could see some arguments for both Lychee and for both Florence being top 1. But I myself, I think they're both on top 1, so they're both great and extremely good characters. After that, the next priority should be Viola or Logos. Again, Logos is a little bit less priority because again, she's an incredibly good support. The problem is if you're looking only for a healer, then Asti is much better. Logos is also DPS, sub DPS. Could be she also heals as well, and she plays as a all role in general. Like she can do it all. Obviously, she doesn't like go too crazy in every role, but she does a decent damage. She does a decent support. She like does decent buffs. She does a decent healing. Again, she doesn't do as much healing as Asti, but still a pretty decent amount. So again, she's also a pretty good character. If you want to go for a second team with a healer, Logos could be your choice because again, her healing is still okay. It's not too crazy, but it's not like really bad either. Viola, a best of field DPS, probably sub DPS. Again, she's not your main DPS, so you're gonna be putting her in a team with someone like Lychee or with Florence. Again, you can put both of them. You can switch up Azzy for Viola, and Viola can do all of the work that Azzy does as well. Again, Azzy is more diverse, I think, but Viola can also be fit in almost every team in this game. So again, also a big unit for those who want to have an off lane sub DPS for their team. As well as you can also use Zero, Viola, and Asti for like a free-to-play type team if you're looking for something okayish. But obviously Azzy would be also working over Viola there. So in terms of free-to-play, she's a pretty decent unit that you can really build really quickly, and she's gonna be doing a pretty decent amount of damage, and she's just great in general character. So I would recommend as a second priority go for her. So Erishan and Nana are the last two left. So also they're not like really bad. They're still a pretty useful characters. You can still put them in a dark type team and they're gonna be doing just fine. It's just the problem is that Lychee and Florence, for example, damage wise are very like on a much higher end than them, but it doesn't mean that those two cannot finish the content. Again, they still can do it all by themselves as well. It's just that the power creep, I guess, in terms of for Lychee and Florence is so much higher, but these two are still fine. Like Nana is also kind of like Viola, an off-field character, as well as she's gonna be your sub DPS, so she's not your main DPS. Again, she's not like a full-on off-field character, but she can definitely perform the role of Viola. Erishan, also, her main role would be your main DPS, but again, for the most part, in that sense, you don't really need a main DPS if you have Florence as well as Lychee. So she kind of slacks off because of those two existing in this game. But in any means, she can definitely do all of the content in the game without a problem. It's just, it will require her like a little bit more time compared to, for again, Lychee and Florence. Those two are monsters. They clear the content in seconds, and in that sense, compared to them, she will clear that in 10 seconds if those two are gonna clear it in second, you know. So in terms of priority, I would recommend 1 for Lychee, 2 for Viola, or like Viola and Logus is like, we'll say it like top 2 prior, and top 3 is gonna be these two. It just depends on who you want more, again, or who you're needing more. In terms of sub DPS, then go for Nana. If you're interested in Erishan, you can go for her, but again, she's mostly a main DPS for your team. So if you're looking for a sub DPS, she's not gonna be looking for that. So again, DPS wise, Lychee, I don't think we need to like talk about too much about Lychee. Everyone already talked about it, and everyone knows why Lychee is so good. Viola's best sub DPS you can get her from here. One of the best supports in the game, Logus, also here as a second priority, and those two left. So in terms of potentials, so if you already have all of the characters here, who should you be going more for potentials? Obviously, it should be your main DPS. It's always your main DPS should be your first priority all the time. So if you're building Lychee, go for the Lychee copy. If you're for example, if you're finished already building with Lychee, you can also go for full-on Viola sub, because again, she's a great sub DPS. You can go for her copy. Some of her early potentials are really good, so you can go for those. Logus, I wouldn't recommend going for her potentials. Again, it's not bad. It's just she's a support here. She's not gonna be staying on field too much, as well as you don't really need to do much damage from her, because again, she's only there for buffs as well as sub. So in that sense, it's better to not go for her copies. Nana, also, if you're using her as a sub DPS, you can get her 1 copy early. Potentials on those characters are really good. So I would also recommend getting some of them. For example, if you want to see, some of those are like pretty good, like 100% damage boost is a pretty strong damage increase by 35, 10% for 15 seconds, like pretty big ones as well. I for myself, I've picked Viola because I didn't have her, so I really wanted to build her. I built her on my old account before I re-rolled, and in that sense, I kind of lost her and didn't get lucky on her on this account. But now finally I got her, and I might as well build her a little bit after I build Tsing for sure. So in that sense, this is the what you want to go. Erishan I wouldn't recommend, again, if only you're using her as main DPS and you already have like everything built for her, then you can go for copies, but I wouldn't recommend it. Again, it's probably the least of the priority with Logus here. These 3 should be your main ones, especially Lychee, your first priority in everything. Again, if you're going for the main DPS, you should be building him, and this game heavily based on who's your main DPS. So go for the main characters there. Other than that, hopefully you've liked the video. If you haven't seen my summoning for Tsing video, you can go and see it on the channel. I did it yesterday. As well as, hopefully you have a great day. Don't forget to like, subscribe, leave a comment, join the Discord. I stream every day, so I always do the announcements before the hand on the Discord there, so you will not miss anything. As well as if you want to talk about the Black Beacon with us, you can do it there. Other than that, hopefully you have a great day, and I'll see you on the next one.